I just got a text before I came on air, and we're going to hear these stories more and more from parents who text me. They were bringing their little girl who was spared home, and they asked her what happened. And I'm not using any names, but she said they were awakened, and the water was at the door. The camp counselor took a rock and smashed out the window. They climbed out the window in bare feet and nothing but a nightgown on, in neck-high water. They walked through the water. They got to another position where there was some dry land. Then they moved to another position. She said, I don't know how we made it. She had her name on the back of her clothes she was wearing, but she wasn't even in her own clothes at the time. And so these little girls and these camp counselors, you're going to hear heroic story after heroic story. These camp counselors are teenagers themselves for the most part. And they eventually got to higher ground where a helicopter came and rescued them. We have a story of a 27-year-old young man in one of the houses along the riverbank. He saved his mother, and I believe it was his aunt or grandmother, but he was swept away. There was heroism yesterday everywhere. And these camp counselors, again, 750 girls in this camp, and we have 27 missing, and we're not going to give up looking for them. We're not going to give up looking for them. And we're all in, and we're praying for these families.
So it's 8 p.m. Eastern Time on July 5th, and I want to give an update on the Texas flash floods and Camp Mystic. The death toll has hit 43 people. Out of those 43 people, 15 are children. Floodwaters in Kerr County, Texas surged 29 feet in a matter of minutes, putting dozens of girls at the Camp Mystic camp in life-threatening conditions. Currently, over 24 of these girls are still missing. The positive news is that there were hundreds of girls at this camp, and many of them did survive and have been, found. Besides at Camp Mystic, a lot of other people are suffering. Take a look at this.
I have my dad on hospice, and I need to get him out of here. He's bedridden. He can't walk. He can hardly move. And look where the water is. I mean, it's like a lake. They can't come look. We've lost our cars, everything. We've lived here for 30 years.
Once again, please say a prayer for all who are involved, and let's just hope for the best.
The officials in Kerrville just had a press conference. The numbers have changed. There are 43 dead. 15 of those 43 are children. They are recovering bodies by the hour. The main focus is still on search and rescue and finding bodies. There are 27 children still missing, and they are just rescuing people by the hundreds, they said. The question that was asked to the official there in Kerrville, what is your message and your statement to the families who are questioning how this could have happened, what happened, how and why there was no evacuation sooner? And his response to that was, we can't predict things like this. It happened so fast. And they didn't know it was going to be this bad. The predictions were off. So that was in response to the question of what are you telling the parents who are asking that question? But again, the numbers are 43 that have died. 15 of those are children. 27 of those children from the camp are still missing, and the efforts are still on search and rescue. But all across the state, there are a lot of resources and mutual aid requests and being provided. Let's look at that. So in San Diego, Texas, it's here in South Texas, the Secret Ranch Boutique is taking donations for the victims of the flooding in Kerr County. You can drop off your donations at 801 East Gravis Avenue in San Diego up until 10 p.m. The trailer is leaving tomorrow for Kerrville. They're asking for water, wet wipes, flashlights, batteries, backpacks, hygiene supplies, paper towels, clothing, canned goods, bedding supplies. No cash donations are going to be accepted. And anyone with skid steers or dump trucks are being asked to help as well. In Kyle, Texas, they're having a donation drive tomorrow, Sunday, July 6th, between 8 and 12 p.m. The address is 5458 Farm Road, 2770 in Kyle, Texas. Here is what they are asking for that donation drive. If you would like to volunteer, you can complete that form by 7 p.m. I'm assuming that's by 7 p.m. today, so about 45 minutes. And you can use that bit.ly link at the bottom here in this graphic. There's also a flood relief donation drive happening in Austin right now, July the 5th from 4 to 7. The address to drop off those items are 4926 East Cesar Chavez Street, Austin, Texas. They're going to deliver it to Kyle tomorrow morning, and people in Kyle will take all the donations to Kerrville tomorrow evening. Again, they're asking for the basics, the necessities: shampoo, conditioner, non-perishable items, baby supplies, baby formula, baby wipes, things like that. And here is a picture again of what you can bring to that drive. So Katy, at any one of these locations in Katy, Texas, you can also do a drop-off at any of these locations: Twin Travers, Brett's Barbecue, Texas Border Bar and Grill, Posh Cheer, No Label Brewing Company, and Serene Beans. Again, they are needing hygiene items, toiletries, non-perishable foods, snacks, and they are taking money donations here.
As search efforts continue for the missing girls from Camp Mystic, that's located in central Texas, and they were, ground zero for this flood. It's right on the Guadalupe River, and some pictures from their dorms or the camp have been released, and it is just absolutely this just saddest thing. The flood levels where they were sleeping. This flood came in the middle of the night, and I can't imagine what was going through their minds when the water started rushing in. But look at their sleeping arrangements, and the water level is up to the top bunk. Now here's another one. I'm going to move my face, but look at that. That is like up to the top of the door. Here's more stuff. I mean, just the whole camp was completely just demolished. Now, unfortunately, 2 of the missing girls from Camp Mystic have been found. Unfortunately, they were deceased when they found them. This is Lila Bonner and Janie Hunt. Coincidentally, they're both from the Dallas area. And as you can imagine, both families are 100% devastated. As you can imagine, there's more missing girls from this camp, and that's all I'm going to say at this time. So, like the video, comment down below. Don't forget to follow me. Talk to you later.
river, same month, same kind of camp, same terrible outcome, but nearly 4 decades apart. What the heck is going on in Kerr County, Texas? If this week's Texas flood catastrophe sounds familiar, that's because it should. Back in 1987, 10 teenage girls died when a flood hit Pot of Gold Ranch just miles down the Guadalupe River. 29 feet of raging water in 45 minutes. They were trying to evacuate in a school bus when it was just swept away. Now fast forward to 2025, same river, Camp Mystic, nearly the same date, 27 dead and over 20 still missing. Water rose 29 feet in just about an hour, and most of them never saw it coming. Both camps were built in low-lying areas, both without the proper alert systems, both caught off guard, and in both cases, it was the girls who paid the price. This is not just a tragedy, this has now become a pattern. So what can Texas do to fix the map, to change things up, to put different alert systems in place? What are we gonna do to prevent this from happening again? Because the river didn't forget. We did.